Well, how are you doing today? It's Jason DeCanio once again for Jay's Retro Toys and Games for Monday, May 9th, 2022. This is episode 16, and we hope you had a great weekend. And we're going to start off this week with a great toy that's been around since 1984. That's right, 1984. Not too bad. You know, it was an 80s toy. It was actually a toy line that was created by Tonka, but not the trucks. But it later inspired an animated TV special, 2 animated TV series, and a feature film. And the shipments of the toys over the 5 years generated sales of $300 million in 35 countries. What are we talking about today? We're looking at Pound Puppies. That's right, Pound Puppies today on Jay's Retro Toys and Games. Okay, let's go ahead and get on with this edition of Toys and Games. Today, Pound Puppies is the name of the toy. Oh, yeah. You gotta... If you don't know what Pound Puppies are, we'll give you a rundown of it, to give you a toy description and toy history. That's what the show's all about. But, of course, we got lots of pictures to go with it. And, of course, when we upload it on YouTube, you will definitely get to see some great pictures of some cute dogs and puppies. It's going to be a great thing here. They're lovable puppies that need a home. What more would you want, you know? So the puppies were a variety of plush stuffed dog dolls with floppy ears and droopy eyes. And they came in a variety of colors, you know, gray, brown, white, some with spots. Each one came in a cardboard case shaped like a doghouse with an adoption certificate, kind of just like your Cabbage Patch Kids. The tagline was, "Lovable, Huggable." Smaller versions were also created, approximately 5 inches, and a line of cats called Pound Puppies were also released. Each authentic toy puppy had a heart shape or a bone, and on the very first edition puppy's emblem near its tail that sported a PP logo with either a dog with the puppies or a cat, Purries, peeking above it. Now, the toys were created by Mike Bowling in 1984. The first puppies were sold by Irwin Toy in Toronto, Canada. And after Irwin, the line was produced by Tonka, which introduced them to the U.S. market. In 1987, Hardee's and Pizza Hut restaurants also offered a series of Pound Puppies with their children's meals. Other products besides stuffed toys were made, such as little golden books, coloring books, and miniature figurines. The Pound Puppies continued to be popular in the early 90s. The toys were produced again in the early 2000s and included specific breeds of dog as opposed to a generic model, along with barking sounds and movements. The toy line was discontinued in 2002. However, the 2010 series of the same name was produced by Hasbro Studios and aired on the Hub in 2010. The toy line was relaunched in 2014 by Funrise, and they are still available in stores today. In 2019, they were reintroduced again, this time being sold by Basic Fun in stores featuring normal sizes and baby sizes. They previously sold jumbo sizes as well. In South America in the 1980s, the toys went by the name Sniff Sniff. Makers under licenses included Brazil's Estrella, Argentina's Antex, and Peru's Bassa. In France, they were known as Les Pites, individual dolls going simply by the singular Pito. The toys were made by Vul under license. In Germany, they were known as Wazi, which is Pound Puppies. They were also sold as Meowsy. Meowsy, what a name. In Italy, they were known as Circa Famiglia and were made by Harbert. In the United Kingdom, Pound Puppies was distributed by Hornby Hobbies. Yes. And a TV special based on the toy line was released in October of 1985 by Hanna-Barbera. It ran in syndication paired with Star Fairies. In the special, a female dog named Violet Vanderfellow is dognapped and ends up at the City Pound. The Pound Puppies attempt to and end up succeeding in reuniting Violet with her family. The special was released in 1986 on VHS by Family Home Entertainment and is also available on DVD. The DVD comes with certain Pound Puppies toys. Now, there was a 1986 TV series, and after the TV special became successful, Hanna-Barbera gained the rights to create an animated TV series. The series was broadcast on ABC from September 1986 to February 1989. While the series was loosely based on the special, it made no mention of the character Violet. The Pound Puppies who were featured also underwent redesigns from the TV special, and when the program was renewed for a second season, there were major style differences, and the series was retitled All New Pound Puppies. And then they have a list of characters, and let's take a look at these characters real quick. We've got, let's see, Cooler, which was a Beagle Bloodhound mix. Nose Marie, Boxer Bloodhound mix. Howler was a Pug. Bright Eyes was a Yellow Labrador Retriever. Whopper was a Jack Russell Terrier. Beamer, Scottish Terrier Schnauzer mix. Barkerville, English Bulldog. Reflex was a Schnoodle, Old English Sheepdog. Violet Vanderfellow was a Greyhound, Shar-Pei mix. Louie was a Canine Corso. Scrounger was a Beagle. And there was Uncle J.R., Biff Barker, Zazu, the Fairy Dog Mother, Tenzi, Toots, Sparky, Lucy, Rusty, Candy, Mandy, and Andy. You got No Name, Prince Feld, Shauna, and the list goes on. My goodness, they sure did have a lot of dogs, and maybe on a very future episode of the Jay's Retro Toys and Games, we'll look at each individual character as well. But today we're just focusing on the history of the toys, of the toy itself. And when we get farther down into the point where we'll revisit some of these toys, especially when we do He-Man and She-Ra, we're going to be looking at each individual character, kind of just like Star Wars toys too. There's so much we would have to break down into sub-episodes for that matter, but that's for another show and for another time. And we'll look at that, of course, later on in the program, or down the line in the history of our show as we continue on. Okay, so from the 1986 TV series, there was a 2010 series that this time was produced for Hasbro Studios, premiered on the Hub Network, now Discovery Family, partly owned by Hasbro since its launch on October 10, 2010. Channel's launch date. The characters are based on the current version of the Puppies, which Hasbro released in the summer of 2012. In addition, there was an online website where one could download a Pound Puppies adoption certificate. July 9th, 2012, Pound Puppies was one of 4 original animated series from the Hub to win the Cine Golden Eagle Award for its high-quality production and storytelling. In August 2012, the Season 1 episode, I Never Barked for My Father, was awarded the Humanitas Prize for Excellence in Writing for Children's Television Animation. There was a feature film in 1988. TriStar Pictures released a Pound Puppies movie titled Pound Puppies and the Legend of Big Paw. It was produced by Atlantic Releasing, Carico, Family Home Entertainment, and Kushner Lock with the Maltese companies. It was panned by critics and poorly received at the box office. Shoddy animation, character inconsistencies, and a color palette that differed from the shows were among the chief complaints. Fans were also confused by the apparent romantic pairing of Nose Marie and Cooler, which contradicted events that had taken place in the first season of the series. In addition, the plot is set in the 1950s, with the story being narrated by Whopper, who in the present day is an older dog who tells the story to his nephew and niece. And there you have it, a very short but sweet look at the Pound Puppies. Well, on Wednesday's edition of our show, of Jay's Retro Toys and Games, we're going to look at another toy that was close to the Pound Puppies in similarity, but they were more, oh, I spelt it wrong. Oh, and they don't even have much of a timeline on them either. We was going to look at the Pillow People, but unfortunately, they don't have much of a timeline. They started in 1986, and it featured an array of different characters, such as animal and people. I had Drowsy Dog, which was interesting, but there were some original ones there, and they also, they don't really give much information on that. So we was going to look at the Pillow People, but we'll look at a big line, I tell you what, that might even spark it for this Wednesday's edition. We're going to look at the Care Bears. Yeah, this is going to have a good, big, long series here, and there was so many relaunches. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. I got a little dry throat tonight. But anyways, the Care Bears will be up on Wednesday, and that'll complete our 2-2 on the toys. And then Friday, we'll be looking at some games. And we'll start one of our games, I must say, is a very interesting game that I had a hard time playing, but I know my mom and my aunt could probably play it too. And the game is called Parcheesi. Yeah. Parcheesi. What a game. It's almost like Sorry in a way, kind of. And Parker Brothers, of course, was the publisher, and with that, it might, I don't know, didn't have to have a history. More like there was a description of the game. But at any event, we'll look at Care Bears on Wednesday, and then if we decide to use Parcheesi, we will, but we may surprise you with 2 more new games Friday and Monday. All right? Anyways, have a great day. We'll see you on Wednesday for the Care Bears. I'm Jason DeCanio, telling you always, be honest, be real, keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. See you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the David3000 Network for great more content like this one.